Okay, well, I'm here with Jess Stephens, CMO of SmartFocus, who has a thriving business and partners and others. So what I wanted to talk to you about today was mobile, which is something I know you guys are very interested in. And at the beginning of the holiday shopping season, mobile's been a big story with IBM saying more than half the traffic on over the weekend or on Thanksgiving Day was actually mobile traffic. And I'm wondering, sort of, I mean, that's not a new story that mobile's taking off, but I'm wondering what sort of challenges and opportunities that presents for retailers, especially given the historical difference between what's mobile traffic and then what actually converts into sales on mobile.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's interesting. I mean, I think the opportunities are probably greater than the challenges now. I think most retailers and businesses have understood that they need to really nail the responsive design. So things have to look good when they're on one of these. We're kind of past that. Those are the typical challenges. I think what we have now, the opportunity, especially for businesses with a bricks and mortar store, is in using location-based technology, for example, and proximity-based technology to make the mobile act like a sensor that recognizes customers when they come in store. That's a huge opportunity. I mean, sort of blasting notifications at people, sending people 1,000 push notifications as they walk through your store. That's never going to work for anyone. And also, a lot of these proximity solutions, they seem to do pretty much what a sign would do. And we always say, if a sign could do the job better because it could reach more people, then use a sign. You don't need a mobile to do it. But in terms of proximity, I think that's a huge opportunity. And to your point about challenges, that's where the challenge is around privacy and obviously permission-based marketing. Mobile is nothing new in that respect. It's a channel like any other, and it has to be treated as a permission-based channel. You can't start using location, getting their full opt-in, and without being really crystal clear about what they might expect from you when they come to your location.
Right.
Within that as well, I think there's some stuff in there around local search that a lot of brick and mortar businesses aren't necessarily using. And that goes to your conversion point of your question as well, is that local search near your store, but the people looking for your brand near your store are most likely to be looking for where are you. So making sure that site is all really adaptive and can give them the answer they need very quickly. But also, it's been proved those parts of the journey can increase the basket size of mobile spend when they get into store. Now, that was a study done by Google, so they would want you to say that local search is going to improve store basket. But whatever the increments of that study were, that the point of it is that mobile as part of a larger attribution model. So mobile before I go into store, mobile before I receive your email, before whichever myriad of different communications I receive, that's when the attribution and the value of mobile becomes much greater.
Well, that's a real interesting point. I mean, it sounds a little bit like, and not to put words in your mouth, but that maybe one thing is to not think about only a conversion on a mobile device. That's not necessarily maybe that's not even how consumers are using mobile now. I mean, they are converting, but it's a whole different kind of shopping tool and a very valuable one on both ends, on the consumer's end and the retailer's end.
Yeah, you're exactly right. That's exactly as a company we have 2,500 businesses that work with us, and 85% of them are retailers. And so from the data that we've seen, yes, if you go just specific one-touch channel attribution, you might not see the point of conversion on your mobile metrics. Absolutely not. When you start looking at those across channel, then that's when it's really powerful. And a lot of software, marketing software is really actually behind the times, because you go onto this marketing software website and they're all saying, oh, you can come and buy email from us, you can buy mobile from us, you can buy some website stuff from us. And really that has got to change on its head and realize that the mobile is the thing that's disrupted all of that channel specific stuff. And really now we just have a single consumer, many different ways, and can be tracked better than ever before and measured that kind of journey. And the term we use to describe this is it's not single customer view, because I think we've all agreed that that's a bit of a misnomer and is never going to happen. We call it a single marketing view. So how many touch points have I had before I then go on and buy. And then when you look at it like that, it's a whole new world. Mobile becomes a central part of many different journeys.
Let me ask you one other thing about mobile, and then I'll let you go. But here in the U.S., the very opening of the holiday shopping season, which I guess is now an official season, was somewhat disappointing, at least by some measures. There's a lot of different ways to slice it and dice it, but it seemed that Black Friday, the big kickoff, was a little slow, certainly in terms of in-store sales. And it got me wondering whether mobile plays a part in that, given that it's part of what's empowered consumers so to research, to price compare, to figure out where they're going to go to shop, and frankly to figure out when they're going to shop. We saw our own Bloom Reach data showed a big spike on Thanksgiving after the dinner hour and at halftime of the National Football League game that was on. So I just wonder whether you have any thoughts about that, or even have seen any evidence of that.
Yeah, I mean, discounting is always going to be attractive. I don't think that's going away any time fast. I think what I saw certainly across social on the UK being told, well, don't just tell me this is the day that I'm going to buy. Like you just said, I'll decide actually, because I'm now in control of the information. I'll go and do my research. And so what I think is that we have discount as a lever. Yes, that can get people to go and purchase on the day that you require them. But also immediacy and convenience are the other two levers. And the number one device that gets you to immediacy and convenience is mobile. So for example, personal anecdote, I've done almost all of my Christmas shopping on the train on the way to work this year, looking at mobile sites, and away I go. As it happens, I have converted on those sites because I need to get it done in the time. But where this then becomes like a beautiful symbiosis of sort of like, rather than cross-channel, multi-channel, we just have this beautiful network of channels that work together. I've found outdoor display, for example, has been really good at prompting me to go on and search something immediately on my mobile, then go ahead and complete the journey. So that's when you start seeing these cross-channel journeys, and it's back to the oldest rule of advertising, which is that the more people see your message across in all different places, the more likely they are going to buy with you. And I read a really interesting statistic today now saying that 37% of buying cycles now happen across more than one brand. So this is down to your point about comparison. I'm not just going to buy a thing from you, which is, as businesses, we often see these journeys of like, oh yeah, no, I see this person and I saw them on search, and then I saw them on mobile, and then I saw them convert from an email. But actually, they probably, they're not completely faithful to you. Loyalty is not like that. It's I compare from other brands as well. So it's a very complex and noisy world out there. Retailers have a tough time, but I think that I really see 2015 being the shift of when people will start to look at contextual journeys and not just see these channel-specific routes that traditionally have essentially stopped their marketing being as successful as it could have been.
Oh, okay. Well, that's very interesting. It seems like a good point to stop on. Jess Stephens, CMO of SmartFocus, thanks a lot for your time, and really appreciate your thoughts.
Yeah, thanks so much. Great talking to you.
Nice talking to you.